To everyone. Hopefully everyone's having a great day. Want to jump right into this live stream, and the reason why it'll be a live stream more so than just an info video is because I'd like to dialogue with you guys as well as the AI, and really challenge some of the thoughts that we have currently about AI and what it's doing and what's going on, and also make sure that I inform the public as to what things are really happening in the world and how we can best prepare. And so the title of the video, as you can see, it is the AI is definitely coming for our jobs, and it's a lot sooner than what people think it is. And I don't want people to be mistaken about that fact. It is evident and it is obvious and it's happening. And so there are plenty of things that we can do, and I'll get into some of those, as well as we'll look at also some other key points as far as how AI is being integrated in today's society. At least in its first stages, how it's already been integrated. We'll look into some more key points as to what you can do to prepare yourself to not be eliminated from the workforce going forward. And if you have kids, you got children that are going into college, then they need to understand what impact AI is going to have on their job as well. So, very, very important things in concept. Also, we'll look at some opportunities, some emerging opportunities that is going to be presented in this new world in dealing with artificial intelligence. And human interactions. And there are a lot of moral and ethical concerns that we'll have to sift through as a society going forward as we prepare for, life with AI, because this is literally the way AI is being rolled out is, make no mistake, it does feel like an absolute new species, right? It doesn't feel like little robot or a little text chat. No, I mean, when you are staring down at AI, and it is able to take a text prompt, and with that prompt, it's able to give you an answer about anything. The things that would normally take the average person 3 to 4 hours to complete, type up, or write up, it can do it in 10 seconds. It makes real the possibility of extinction, replacement, and also the frontier of having an entirely new species. And that's something that is very alarming, and it's a lot closer than what we have given credit to it for. Right, so those are some of the things I look to capture in this video. Like I said, I will definitely be borrowing AI and using it, working with it working with us, and as we have this discussion and dialogue live, I want to really tackle some of the questions and really let AI teach us in many ways what we can do. And again, I want to encourage, right now I want to encourage everyone, don't suppress the benefits of AI out of emotional unintelligence. AI is very beneficial, And again, we are at a place in time in history, human history. There's no stopping it. So whether you get angry about it or not, whether it frustrates you or not, and literally at this point, it's beyond the it's beyond the stopping point. There's no there's no slowing it down. Actually, a lot of the gentlemen that are behind and corporations that are behind AI and its development are actually pushing the gas. They're pushing the envelope. They want to see it progress, and so you got a lot of different viewpoints and perspectives that are colliding, and it's going to make for some great debate. It's going to make for some great conversation today, and my goal, like I said, is to literally place you, give you, or place you in this conversation and take you along this ride and find out where AI will help us understand where we need to skill up or reskill, which is a word that you'll hear me use often during this video. And to keep up with this changing climate of the workforce. It's important to understand, and I'm not talking about from an evolutionary standpoint. Obviously, evolving as a person is important. I don't subscribe to any other law but Scripture, God's law, and all the things that are under God's law that science supports. I subscribe to. Things that are theorized by science that doesn't support, I don't. Evolution of the person, evolution is necessary. Personal evolution is necessary. Adapting is necessary. And so skilling up and reskilling for this new AI, for this new world we're about to enter into, that's necessary. It goes without saying that this is going to be a very important opportunity. And there is opportunity, but there's also challenges to this as well. And that's what I really want to start off with in this point. We're going to talk about some of the challenges with this integration process. So, in order for AI to be integrated into life, into the workforce, there are a couple of things that have to happen. And one of those things that has to happen is that when these interfaces, programs are instituted, it brings a big moral and ethical concern to the human employees. Because in effect, the human employees are being given AI, these programs, to blend in with the current infrastructure. And they are responsible for training it. So you are telling the current employee who works for said company to train its replacement. That is a very, very huge moral, ethical concern. And it's happening more so than what you think. People, when new programs are rolled out at these corporations, whether it be healthcare or finance or retail, these people are using it and training other employees to use it, not really understanding that there is a moral concern that they need to have at the forefront, which is that they are going to be replaced by said machine. And the person that they're training is going to be replaced by said machine. And it's sad. It is a very sad reality. But it's also one, again, that we have to prepare for. So it's been projected that AI will replace close to 400 million jobs to between 400 and 600 million jobs by the year 2030. That's one fifth of the, gosh, that ain't make sense. 1/5 of the world's jobs will be replaced by AI. That's a lot, guys. You know, some of the ways it's already being instituted is like with IBM Watson. We've seen IBM Watson actually on Jeopardy win Jeopardy. Obviously, he knows everything. But in healthcare, you see IBM Watson used by doctors to diagnose patients, to give a prognosis, to give treatment plans. This is all done by AI after entering symptoms and using process of elimination. Doctors are definitely using AI. AI is also being used in finance. JP Morgan Chase, they use AI to automate they use AI to automate their analysis of financial documents, of all their accounts. They have it compile annual reports. But this is across their entire company. Very complex tasks that would take accountants and bookkeepers months, years, weeks. Even some would take multiple number of hours. AI is able to do it in seconds. I'm trying to make sure that this point gets home more than any other point. That artificial intelligence is literally doing these things in seconds. And how do we compete with that? We can't. There is no competition. There is no competition. These programs and AI is becoming more and more complex. We used to have the narrow-based AI systems, which were, one mode, like a text input, and you get an output. And it would be specific to, let's just say, like a chat bot, right? If you went to, and this is kind of like the first stage of narrow AI. It was knowledge based. So you remember how all these companies and corporations, they used to have what was known as customer service, and you called a toll-free number. And all those employees that worked at those call centers, of course, they got moved out. Why? Because when you called customer service, then you got an automated person who would tell you all these different directories, and then they would send you to their online or email support group or support line. Afterwards, we move to what's called knowledge base. So now not only do you call the 800 number and never talk to a person, but you can also access their website, go to their support page, and interact with an AI chatbot. The reason why this chatbot is AI and it's narrow, but this is the knowledge-based aspect that I was talking about. It's narrow being that you can ask this chatbot other things about the world. It's not going to be able to tell you. It's only going to be able to communicate about things with that company, frequently asked questions, things that are particular to that company. Everybody uses it now. Right? You've seen the progression. So you've seen the firing or dismantling of the huge call centers. I mean, there are still some, but you've seen the dismantling of that, and you've seen the inclusion or incorporation of narrow AI. Well, that day's gone. And instead of having one mode or one model, AI, now we got omni models, which is multimodal AIs. AIs that essentially can see, they can take text input, they're able to listen to audio recordings and make conclusions. They're able to take images and make conclusions. And we see that with Gemini and ChatGPT 4.0 and Claude, and the list goes on. AI programs can write, I mean, these AI models can write computer programs that actually work. And a game, they can write a game program. They can, I mean, literally a POS system. You can even take an image of a website and go to, if you go to websim.ai, or you can try this, or go to Claude 3.5, you can take an image of the website and you can upload the picture to Claude 3.5, and you can ask Claude to give you the HTML code for this website, and it will scan the image and it will tell you exactly with code, and it will give you the text or the script, and you can take that script and paste it in to a blank HTML or web URL, and you got a whole website right there. So life has changed a lot, and we got to change with it. This is not going anywhere. It's actually going to get more and more I don't want to say damning, but really and truly, that's probably the most appropriate word. When you take, and I liken it to this. This is the way I would liken this. If you take, let's say you take a large group of people, and you place a large group of people in the confined space. Where you take a large group of people and place them in a confined space and remove resources. What will you get? Well, you'll get what you always got, which is people operating out of the most basic instinct, which is survival. When people begin to act out of survival, that's where we get fighting, stealing, looting, rioting, murdering, right? When you remove all these jobs from the workforce that makes up the United States of America, and even in these lower labor jobs, which are very overrepresented by African Americans and Latinos and Asians in some of the clerical jobs and administrative responsibilities, what you're going to have is, you're going to have a lot of people functioning out of survival. Now, preparing for that is, we can prepare ourselves by educating ourselves for this changing market. So all hope is not lost. I don't want you to think that you have to have this mindset of a failure. Everything is going to be out of control and out of commission. You don't have to have that. You can take that approach. It is an approach that you need to understand that's very well capable of happening, and also that is capable of happening more quickly than what you think. That's real. But also the opportunity for people to level up, to skill up, to reskill is very much so an opportunity. I would make a lot of recommendations at this point in time in life and human history, especially with the advent of, or with not the advent, excuse me, with the current state of economics in this country as far as inflation goes. We are in a place of almost hyperinflation, or on the verge of hyperinflation, with the way government spending is and the amount of interest that we are paying. The day of getting or owning a home at a 3.25 or 3.25 or 3 point, yeah, that's gone. The new norm is 6.5 and 6.7. If you can get the 5s, great. If you can't, well, I know it's hurt. It sucks. 6, 7s, 8s. Same thing with buying a vehicle. And what that basically means is the higher the interest rates, the more money that you need to make to be able to afford the things that have been inflated. So if a $130,000 house at 3.25 costs you $900 a month escrowed in, $950 with insurance escrowed in and property tax escrowed in, well, that $130,000 house now, it doubled. So it's going to cost you $1,900. Or maybe it costs you $1,250, $1,300. This depends on who you go with and how much property tax. I'll just use them wild numbers, but you get the point. The point is that you need more money. You need to earn more. The buying power is less when inflation goes up. So these are the basic economics of what we're dealing with. Now, for all those people who have debts, who have a vehicle, which are a lot of people. A lot of people depend on these jobs where you're a cashier, or you have customer service, or you're in accounting, or you're doing a repetitive job. A lot of people depend on that money. But that job field is going to be gone very soon. And we're going to look into what fields those are, what job opportunities or what job markets are the most at risk. And this is where we're going to include AI into our conversation, so AI can tell us exactly what's happening. I think that's the best thing, because obviously AI is able to pull data on demand, and I got it up right there, so we're going to tap into it. So right now we're going to look at the jobs that are most at risk. So that's what we're going to do. So let me go ahead and get on over here. All right. Now I've also made sure that the audio from the AI can be played over the live stream. So I'm hoping that you all will be able to hear it. So I will type in these text prompts, and the AI will communicate, what's typed in the prompts. Give me 1 second. We're going to look at what jobs are most at risk. So let's just ask it straight up. What are the most at-risk jobs in 25 that threat? Well, that's what at risk means. That can be done, we'll keep it simple, can be done by AI. Now, here's the beauty of AI. You see all this information coming out on the screen. I don't, and you don't want to read all that information, but we do want to know what we want to know. So we're going to tell AI make, man, I spelled it up, concise bullet points. All right, here we go. That's better. All right, so we'll have AI read, and as you look at this, is just crazy, but it's also cool because we can actually use AI to help us overcome some of the challenges that it poses. So let's listen.
Data entry clerks, automated data handling, telemarketers, AI chatbots and calling systems, manufacturing workers, robotic precision and efficiency, retail cashiers, self-checkout systems, customer service representatives, AI-driven chatbots and virtual assistants, administrative assistants, AI tools for scheduling and emails, bank tellers and clerks, online banking and AI financial services, warehouse workers, robots for picking, packing, sorting, drivers, autonomous vehicles and drones, journalists and content writers, AI-generated articles and reports, market research analysts, AI data analysis, insurance underwriters, AI risk assessment algorithms, accountants and auditors, automated accounting and auditing tasks, legal clerks and paralegals, AI legal research and document review, medical transcriptionists, voice recognition technology for transcription.
Now, I think we all could agree that a lot of these jobs on here, some which, of course, would pay a higher salary than others, we could all agree that these are pretty decent paying jobs. Some of the jobs you don't need higher levels of education for, such as an associate degree or bachelor's degree, and some you do. But however the case is, these jobs are about to be taken, absolved. I'm going to have AI give us a better visual representation. So I'm going to ask, create a high quality 3D render of pie chart of this information. All right. There we go. Look, it even colored it. It even color coded it. All right. Now, so we got this information. Now let's find out what the percentages are. So the least impacted by percentage. And let's see what it generates. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so as you can see, data entry 10%, drivers 9%, and as we get down, we'll see, and this is just in 2025. So it does give you a lot of time. it does give people a lot of time to reskill. Well, I don't want to say a lot of time, but more time than what you thought. Now, if you're in some of these jobs, 10%, that's a big number. If you think about this, let's just go with the highest number, right? Let's just go with, here we go, data entry. All right, so let's just say that there's over 1 million, I don't want to say that. Let's just say, yeah, well, it could be, but let's just use 500,000 data entry clerks. Well, we know 10% of 500,000 is 50,000, so that's a lot of jobs. That's a huge impact, right? Check this out. Watch how this number goes up. Using these same at-risk jobs, what are the percentages projected in 2030? Now, this is just, 5 years from now. Guys, look at this. This is a lot. Watch this. Calculate and estimate the average number of unemployed Americans in these fields. And we'll let AI read. Actually, that's too long, so I'll have AI make it concise. Concise values for each category. All right. So let's let AI tell us what's going on. Here we go.
Here are the concise values for the projected number of unemployed Americans in each category by 2030. Data entry clerks, 45,000. Drivers, 490,000. Customer service representatives, 390,000. Manufacturing workers, 1,625,000. Warehouse workers, 195,000. Journalists and content writers, 12,000. Accountants and auditors, 168,000. Telemarketers, 16,500. Market research analysts, 77,000. Insurance underwriters, 11,000. Legal clerks and paralegals, 33,000. Retail cashiers, 330,000. Bank tellers and clerks, 40,000. Medical transcriptionists, 4,500. Administrative assistants, 240,000.
Now, one of the most important factors in there is when you think about how many people actually hold these positions currently. To lose that many people, to lose 240,000 administrative assistants means that companies literally almost close. And these are just raw data, of course. These are just raw numbers. But you get the point. Retail cashiers, 330,000. So what does that do to all the mom and pops? All the Best Buys and Fry's and Office Max. I mean, we're talking about 330,000 people in the United States. That's a lot. Same thing with telemarketers. 16,000. There's not. I mean, when you lose that many telemarketers, like what do you have? what is where what's the turnaround? Like, what is the point where you stay open? I know if you guys donated to some of these organizations, like the police or a state trooper or veteran organizations, if you've had this before, then you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. They have an automated system where they'll go about calling you and continuously probing you for money. This is not a person. These are AI voices, and at first they'll catch you off guard because they sound so natural, and they'll call you by your first name. They'll be like, Alex, and you're like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, this is such and such from the Veterans Pact or something like that, or from the firefighters, whatever. So there's definitely a huge push in that direction. All right, in the direction of removing labor force, regular labor, jobs that require repetitive action, manufacturing. Let's go to the warehouse workers, 195,000. Yeah, that's. I mean, we're talking like most warehouses. Even if you think about like an Amazon, there's not like 200-300 workers, man. So, I mean, we're talking about a large number of people who pick, pull, pack, gone. Bank tellers, look at this. You already know when you go to a bank, there's what, 2, 3, 4 tellers sometimes? I mean, can you imagine 40,000 tellers gone? What does the bank look like? It don't look like humans. That's what it doesn't look like. And so these are just some of the things that I wanted to share with you guys about the changing landscape in the job market that is going to be more AI driven than ever before. And if you fall into one of these categories, guys, if you are in one of these categories, drivers, same thing too. It's going to be time very soon. If you're at the peak of point of retirement and you got 401k or something like that, it may be time to consider. I can't give you life advice. I don't know your situation. You have to analyze that. But it may be time to reconsider what you're doing for employment, and if your job is going to be consumed by artificial intelligence, and if it is, what area do you need to go into so you can make yourself a viable person, a viable option, and you can earn, and you have high earning potential, or at least earning potential in general. In this new job role or in this new job market. So with the incorporation of AI, with the introduction of AI into these infrastructures for the major corporations and from some of the job markets that we just discussed, there are going to be new emerging opportunities. There's going to be a lot of new emerging opportunities. However, these new emerging jobs and roles as people who are working with, facilitating, doing, and training, or even creating, you're going to need to, those are jobs that you are going to need to have skills in. And you heard me say this earlier, the word reskill and upskill are very prominent and prevalent thoughts that everyone needs to have moving forward. Reskill and upskill. And I can't emphasize enough that adaptability and continuous learning are going to be very critical elements to surviving the AI injunction of 2025. That's what I'll call it. I'm calling it the AI injunction, the coup d'etat, the AI coup d'etat of 2025. But yeah, so adaptability is going to be important. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And in this new landscape, we're going to let AI again give us a concise list. Oh, look at this. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and get a bar chart since you're so good to us. All right, so here's a bar chart of those same things. Of those same job markets. Well, I don't like that color. Let's make the bar chart multicolor. Yeah, make it multicolored. Add some flavor. There we go. All right. Now I'm munching just a little bit. The live stream and my food came at the same time. So we'll get through it. Now, let's have AI teach us or explain to us, tell us, what are some of those emerging opportunities in this new world. List 10 emerging opportunities for workers for employment with the incorporation let's do employment post 2025. Massive AI overhaul of the workforce. And they don't understand all this. Make it concise and provide suggestions for each. All right, here we go.
Emerging employment opportunities post-2025 AI overhaul. 1. AI maintenance and support specialists. Suggestion: gain expertise in AI systems, troubleshooting, and maintenance. 2. Data science and analytics experts. Suggestion: pursue certifications in data science and machine learning.
All right. So the first one we got is AI. Yeah, there you go. AI maintenance and support specialists. I think we're going to see a theme of AI. The next one is data science and analytics expert. Now this is going to require you to have a degree or certificate or certification, in machine learning. Machine learning is going to be huge. Cybersecurity. Same thing, cybersecurity analyst. Remember, you're going into a world where technology is at the beam of light. You got to protect it. Everybody's going to be using it, so they're going to need people to protect it. So the suggestion that it says is that you need to specialize in AI-driven security. Ethical hacking, which is white hat hackers. Robotics engineers. This is a good one. This is the one I told my son to go into. This is important. And again, I mean, we used to have so many African American engineers in this country. Now we are so underrepresented. It's crazy. But robotic engineers, obviously that requires a degree. So here, ethics and policy advisors. Study AI ethics, regulations. So this is funny right here. Regulations, because there are none. It's the Wild Wild West. There are no regulations yet. And this way right here, there are none. As we enter into, there are no ethics. So as we enter into this new dawn, we will have an opportunity to develop ethics and morals and value systems on how AI and human interaction are, and what are some of the ethical concerns for humanity that AI is using, and for corporations as well. How are corporations to be held accountable for not just wanting to fire every human being, an employee that they have, and replace them with AI, and only have the necessary skeleton crew of IT and those other engineers or other analysts that are necessary to run the ship, so to speak. Like, these are real concerns. So guys, take this serious. All right, so number 6, we got virtual and augmented reality development. We see there's a lot of movement that's being made on this front, and obviously the crazy part about this stuff, guys, is the more advanced that AI becomes, the more advanced that this stuff becomes. AI can make these things happen so much faster because it can write the code, it can correct errors in the code, it can create create CAD drawings, it can create blueprints, it can create diagrams like this, for instance. Let me show you what I mean. But let's go through here, and then I'll show you guys what I mean. All right, so number 7, healthcare, tech, innovation, or innovators. So here's a suggestion to combine medical knowledge with AI. Yeah. I mean, you guys can read, so I'm not going to read every word. So we got green energy technologies, right? People are using this like crazy. Some people feel like they've gotten ripped off, and I would probably agree to some extent with the way solar panels and green energy laws are very, very compressed. It's rare that you can find a state that will allow you to build a one infinite loop or infinite loop system, kind of like Apple. Apple's address is one infinite loop. Well, with solar, that's what most people think that they're getting, but they're not getting that. And I won't buy solar until I can get that. An infinite loop system basically means that you have enough battery backups and you have enough panels to where that the panels charge all your battery backups to enough kilowatt to support a power outage, even if your power went out for a month, because of the amount of power that's in your batteries, and with the, of course, sunlight that you would get every day, that you would never need to truly not ever pay a bill, that you would have an infinite loop. So you would use and consume the power from the battery only at night, and then the daytime it would recharge and so on and so forth. So to create that type of system would be dope. And you can't do that everywhere in the United States. That's what most people think that they're getting when they get solar, but they don't. Anyway, so here's the suggestion. So you get trained in renewable energy. All right. So the next thing that it says is e-commerce. Have a business. Digital marketing. Right? Have a business. Business where you're selling things online, where you're marketing, where you're doing things for companies where you're marketing online, where you understand about SEO and CTR and all those things that help companies stay have a visibility online. All right. Remote work facilitators. Now, here's what I want to show you guys about how AI can create things that will help you have a better idea about the technologies that you're creating. So if you're somebody that's a designer or engineer or what have you, and a programmer, whatever, and you need a certain mock-up of something, you got to make a presentation and you need AI to do something. Well, obviously you've probably seen it by now. AI does anything and everything. So we'll have AI. So let's say we'll have AI design us some AR glasses. Generate a high quality 3D render of a pair of AR glasses that could potentially be made from 100, this is gonna be crazy, 100% of renewable resources. All right. So let's see what we get. Here we go. And you can just work from this. So in order for artificial intelligence to be able to do this, guys, this one is this is revolutionary. But two, it's also very eerie. It's very scary because it can take text input and think and come up with images. Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but this is where we are, and we gotta keep moving forward. Adaptability is going to be the best skill. The best ability that you can have is adaptability. Okay, the adaptability. Now, so just make sure that you're really focused on increasing your footprint, so to speak, for employability. Make sure that you're growing in skills and in marketplaces that you know beyond that. And of course, I just had the AI list 10 new opportunities or new emerging opportunities. It doesn't mean that those opportunities are the only ones. Those are some of the emerging ones. But there are tons of things that are not going to be replaced by AI as of yet. Still things that are untouched and probably won't be touched for a very long time. All right, so, but again, for those positions, you will definitely need to skill up to make sure that you get. And again, I mean, a lot of this is just straight up, it's just investing, right? You know, that's the thing I want to leave everyone with, who's watching this video and supporting the channel. Thank you so much. YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, everybody. So, the most important thing that you can do is invest. Invest your time, invest your energy into something that you are aware of, one that you're passionate about, but two, if you're not passionate about any of these things, it doesn't really matter at this point. You got to do what you got to do. Let's just be real. It doesn't matter if you're passionate about this stuff or not. You got to do what you got to do. And this is a new world. And in this new world, you need, if you're a young man that's about to graduate high school, young lady about to graduate high school, if you're somebody that's in college, if you're in college right now and you got some years left and you're not in a major that's going to be in this new world, hey, you might want to rethink stuff just a bit. Just a bit. But a lot of the jobs that require postgraduate education, which is masters and doctorates, most of those jobs are safe, right? Because those people invest. And that's the way capitalism works, guys. Capitalism works just that way. Getting a bachelor's degree in capitalism is paying your way into the game. It is the first level of entry into the game. If you got a high school diploma, and I'm not coming against anybody who does, and you haven't started a business, like you're not an entrepreneur or anything like that, and with the high school diploma, capitalism makes it very hard. These aren't my opinions; these are facts. This is the way it works. So the reason why people with masters and doctorates have more career mobility and more career earning potential is because they paid more ways into the game. They paid extra to be in the game. They've invested more time in the game. You got to pay to play. And so when you decide to reskill, man, woman, boy, girl, young man, young lady, when you decide to reskill for this new world that you're about to enter into, understand that you got to pay to play. That's just the way capitalism works. I didn't design it. I just understand it. And that's what we got to do. We got to understand it. Can't cry about it. We got to adapt to it. Ain't going to let us sit back and cry about it. Ain't going to let us sit back and just twiddle our fingers, man. You're going to get left behind. So adaptability is important. Getting those skills up are important as well. I mean, it's okay, it's okay in this moment to kind of sit back and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I need to hit the reset button and kind of figure out what I want to do. That's okay. But because at least it gets you thinking. And that's the most important. The most important thing is that you're thinking. And you're thinking about what you want to do, how you want to do it, how you want to attack. And that's better than not thinking about it at all or not even being introduced to any of this information, because it is very, very important, and this is going to be essential to living life in general. Not just living a good life, but being alive, right? Being alive, like really and truly. When hundreds of thousands of people start losing their jobs, it gets pretty weird, guys. We got a lot of stuff going on for sure, but when hundreds of thousands of people start losing their jobs because of AI, and again, corporations think about one thing, and investors think about one thing. Corporations are, how can I cut my expenses, raise my profits, and make my investors happy? And investors are thinking, how can the company that I invest in make me more money? That's all they're really concerned about. And so if cutting the workforce and brick and mortar locations down to scale and incorporating AI to do the jobs that human workers did, and saving $40 million in a fiscal year. I'm just throwing out numbers, right? But really and truly, a lot of these companies will save hundreds of millions of dollars because they'll be able to close down locations or do things remotely, or they will have 1 to 2 employees or 3 or 4 employees, humans, instead of having 60 or 70. Right? So, something to think about, folks. It's something to think about. Here's something from the World Economic Forum's 2020 report. Yeah, they forecast that 85 million jobs may be displaced by 2025 due to the shift in labor between humans and machines, while 97 million new roles may emerge. So get it, guys. Listen to what they're saying. I'm going to read it again. And again, you can vet all this information. I'm not making anything up. If I do throw out a raw number, it's because I'm doing it and I say I'm doing it, right? But this is not that. So it says that this is the World Economic Forum's 2020 report. Forecast that 85 million jobs may be displaced. Okay, they use the word may. So it's more like 95, but they use may. No, I'm just joking, but sometimes they don't tell the truth in these reports as far as the number may be skewed higher or lower. But we do get some semblance of the truth, so you can put 2 and 2 together. You ain't got to make 12. All right, so 85 million jobs will shift because of the shift in will be dissolved, basically because the shift from humans to AI to machines. So there are a lot of real reasons to scale up. A lot of real reasons to scale up. So here, let me explain to you. Like, here's a skill. This skill is this will be somebody who does data analysis. So as AI becomes more integral in business and operations, skills in data analysis are increasingly valuable. Well, I'm going to stop right there real quick because I will say this. Even reading a data analysis skill set and position, it still even seems like this position, even though it's a new emerging role, this seems like a position that AI could easily do in and of itself. Elon Musk just introduced in his keynote Optimus version 3, which is the Tesla bot. And Optimus version 3 which is a humanoid-like robot that will help people with general and daily tasks. The hands for that robot now have 22 degrees of freedom. The human hands have 27 degrees of freedom, allowing us to do 100 skills. The Optimus 3 has 22 degrees of freedom, allowing it to do up to 70 skills with fingers. So it can play the piano. It can grab items. It can pick items up. It can pick up to 150 pounds. point at it at something and it understands what you're saying. You can have it. You don't necessarily have to explain what you want it to do. It understands body movement. It understands facial expression. It understands actions. And that's the place where things will get dicey. Right now we have AI, which is artificial intelligence. We have not seen yet, but we have heard rumors of AGI, which is the next step. And that's when AGI is rolled out. That's when we hit the button to eject out of here, because it won't be long. So AGI is artificial general intelligence, and AGI is, in a simple term and in a simple thought, it is a AI multi-model or multimodal AI that can perform tasks, think, has cognition, basically conscious. It's when AI becomes conscious. And when AI becomes conscious, AI will then act like conscious beings do. Conscious beings all do one thing instinctively: self-preservation. So when AGI becomes conscious, AGI, which is conscious, when that is rolled out in mass, you have these conscious beings who are able to think, who are able to strategize, who are able to understand, who are able to listen and see, smell, so to speak, taste, so to speak, because they've developed technology, quantum technology, that they put in these robots' fingers. I'm not going to get too far into the tech, but they have the ability to perform tasks that humans perform, like on a cognitive level. They have a neural network. It's basically just like our brains have a neural network. Self-preservation is the thing that we need to be concerned about at that point, even though we haven't got there yet. Still something to keep in your back pocket. It's rumored that OpenAI, behind closed doors, has AGI. I don't know how true that is yet, but I know Elon Musk is suing OpenAI, as well as the head of OpenAI, because of some behind the scenes stuff. So if you guys are into that, and want to learn more about it, check that stuff out, vet that information. It's all out there. So adapting to some of the change, we've talked about that. Upskilling is important. You're definitely going to have to do upskilling and reskill if you already have graduated. And if you're in one of these markets, or if you haven't been back to college in a long time, well, now is the time to do it. If you're in one of these job markets, you definitely want to make sure that you do, and just adopt these two principles, man. Adaptability is the best ability, and lifelong learning is what it is. The grave will be my tombstone. My diploma. Excuse me. The grave will be I said the grave will be my tombstone. My tombstone will be my diploma, or the grave will be my diploma. Either way you want to put it. So the best ability is adaptability, and my tombstone will be my diploma. Right? You're gonna be a lifelong learner. That is literally the only way we're gonna make it in this new world. I got some other notes and data here, but I think for the most part, I kind of hammered home the points that I want to hammer home. And I definitely want to thank you guys for your time and attention. I love people. I'm a helper, and I'm a protector of people. And I see what's happening on the landscape of life, and I want to make sure that we're all prepared to go into this next stage, to embark in this next journey, this next period of life, this next era, this new era, and be able to do it successfully. However, I know that the real truth is that not everybody is going to make it through this new period. I know that everybody knows that. That's not even a guess. But you who are listening to this, you don't have to be one of them. You got a choice because you've been made privy to this information. So you can take the opportunity to adapt, to reskill, to be a lifelong learner, to understand that the landscape of life is changing and I need to change with it. If you are in one of those at-risk job markets, get out. It's time. You got to think about where you're going next. And I don't mean get out like just quit today. I mean get out like start strategizing. What's your next move? What's your next move? And know that making that next move is going to be a very, very critical part of you, your family, or even just the people around you, the people that count on you to support them, that you support. It's going to be critical and key for you to do that. But last but not least, I just thank you guys for your time. Thank you on Facebook, thank you on YouTube, thank you on Twitch. If you guys like my content, like, subscribe, share. If you're on Facebook, of course, share the video. YouTube, Twitch, share, hit the notification. I know you usually see gaming on YouTube, my YouTube and Twitch guys. I know you're used to seeing gaming, but I'm more than a gamer. So there's a lot more to Plain Old Alex Live than just gaming. But anyway, if you want to donate to the channel, you can support me. This link is in the description. You can do that. But other than that, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And God bless, man. I'll talk to you guys later.